In this video, we're going to look at how to create isometric views using the 3D tool. So, for example, let's just take a look at a basic square that's here. Oops. Let's see, let's take off that and let's do a fill of a light green. So let's move this over. We're going to go to Effect, 3D, Extrude and Bevel. And on the position, we're going to do isometric left. And if we look at preview, it has made a little box. Now I could change that instead of isometric left to be isometric right. And let's change this depth to 100. And you can see now that's bigger. Let's do 200. Right, so now we have a cube. In here, the shading is really interesting, right? So you can do plastic shading. It's just a different kind of shade. I can drag this around and I can have different light sources. I can change the ambient light, right? So let's make this a little bit darker, a little bit lighter. Light intensity, I could say, you know what, I don't want it as intense or I want it a lot. How intense is that highlight that we're going to get there? Blend steps, the more blend steps you have, the smoother it looks. And let's do OK. So now here is my cube. And I can do all sorts of things with that. What I'm going to do now is go Object, Expand Appearance. Let's ungroup it. And you should have those individual little pieces, right? It's a good way to make something happen. Now, I could also take this. Here's a really kind of neat trick as well. Let's take our lasso tool. And I'm just going to grab this, select those things. I'm going to hit Scale, hit Enter, and you can see in non-uniform, right? I'm just using the arrow keys to go down, and now I have this really kind of warped view, right? So you can create some pretty cool things using that real basic technique. So I could do the same idea with, let's take a triangle. Just going to make it bigger. I'm going to go to Effect, 3D, Extrude and Bevel. Let's see what this looks like. Let's make this 200. Instead of, let's go isometric left, and there we go. And so now I have, right, a triangle. Let's do 300. Let's say I want my lighting to come from this side, or let's say I want it to come from the front. Right, you can change where that highlight is. Again, I could change the intensity. Let's do OK. Object, Expand Appearance, Ungroup. And now what I have is oops, ungroup these. Now I have those individual pieces. Okay, so you can do all sorts of things now with that. All right, so how do we then turn that into something that we can kind of work with? Well, that's where we're going to go next with things. Let me just do one more shape here, and then we'll do another video on how to really make this into like an island and other things. So Effects, we're going to go to 3D, Extrude and Bevel. Let's go to isometric left. Let's look at preview. And you can see now it forms, right, that shape that's there. So let's do, I don't know, let's do 300. Right, so now we have this kind of tube shape that's there. Let's say we wanted to look at isometric top. Well, there we go. There's our little cylinder that's there. Let's change the plastic shading to diffuse shading. Ambient light, right? So I could take that all the way up, or I could do no shading if you know you're going to mess with it. You know, so where's my lighting come from? Maybe my lighting is coming from the top part, and so it creates something like that. Blend steps, let's crank those up, and you can see now I get a better blend. Okay. Okay. Now Object, Expand Appearance. Let's ungroup it. And there are my two shapes, right? Pretty cool way of using Illustrator's isometric view in 3D.